Hi, okay, today I'm going to show you how to apply a vinyl decal to a cup. You can use this method to apply the vinyl decals. This is 651 Oracal vinyl. It's permanent. This is indoor or outdoor vinyl, so you can use this method to apply, like if you were going to do like on your car window with a decal, you can use the same method for that. Pretty much anything that you're going to put a decal on. First thing is you want to make sure you have a clean surface, and I usually use like a little rubbing alcohol and like a cotton swab, and I just clean the area thoroughly and let it dry. If you don't have alcohol, that's okay. You can just clean it with soap and water. Make sure that it's not greasy at all and that it's perfectly dry before you start this process. Okay? And then the other thing that you're going to need is either some kind of squeegee card or scraper or a credit card. Most people are just going to use some kind of, you want a hard-edged credit card to do this, which is perfectly fine. So either one you have, that's okay. And the other thing you're really going to use is your fingers, because that's basically what you need the most. It's just the pressure of your fingers. And the other thing that you definitely want is time. This is not something you want to rush at. You want to have a few minutes to do this. You don't want to rush through the process, because that will give you ripped decals, bumpy, not sticking decals, or big mess ups. So you want to have time to do it the right way. Take your time as you go, and you will have a perfect decal every time if you follow these steps. Okay, so let's get started. So you're going to have your decal, okay? And like I'm going to put this on the cup here. So I'm kind of just going to eye it up. I usually just eye things up about where I'm going to want them. So you're going to have whatever decal it is you have at home, and you know, you have the plastic backing on top, and then you have your cardboard and the decals in the middle. So what I like to do before I apply anything is take your card and you're going to run it over top of the whole thing with the cardboard on the back and the plastic still, okay, a few times, just to make sure that your decal is adhered to your plastic, okay? So, see, same, we're just taking the card and kind of run it over. Okay, easy. And you're going to take it, and now we're going to peel up our decal. It's now applied to the plastic, okay? We're going to peel it up, and now you can just put that little piece of backing to the side. Okay, so now you're going to take your item. I'm going to put this on my cup, and I'm going to center about where I want it. Now, again, like I said, I'm just eyeing it, and you want to slowly, now what I like to do is I like to place the middle of the decal down first, okay? And you're going to smooth it with your finger, and then from the middle out, I like to go and just take your finger, and you're going to work it and just rub it down all the way with your finger until it lays smooth. Now the backing, this plastic part of it, has bubbles in it. That's okay. What you're really working on and what you're smoothing out is the actual decal itself, the actual vinyl. So now I've got this side really smooth, and now I'm going to keep working my way over. And now I've got this side really smooth. Okay, so you don't have to worry about the bubbles in that part. So once you've got your vinyl attached really well, you just want to really go over it a few times. And then I like to take my card, and same thing. Now I'm going to go over it from side to side, up and down a few times. Just go over it and really get it on there. Okay. Now, a round item like this, like a mug where it's got a little bit of a curve, you know, you're going to have to work with it sometimes, obviously, because the decal's flat. So that's why I always say start with the middle and then work your way out. And again, all these like bubbles over here, these aren't going to matter. We're going to peel off the plastic is the next step. Okay. So once you feel that it's fully applied and it's really on there, you really want to press on it. Get it very firmly applied. You want to make sure there's no bubbles in the actual decal itself and then the actual vinyl. Okay, so it's really applied very well, and you can see that it's not sticking up anywhere. Now this is the part where patience comes in, okay, because the main thing you need to remember is as you're lifting the plastic, the clear, if you start to see the vinyl lifting, you need to press your plastic back down immediately. And then you need to take your card or your credit card and you need to rub it again. Now say if I was lifting and this little corner came up, so you want to specifically press on that little corner. you do not want to keep pulling if you see the vinyl come up. You need to immediately put it back down and press that section down. The other thing is, once you start to get the plastic free of the vinyl, if you have to go back and adjust one area, you want to keep the plastic that has adhered away, because it could pull the vinyl up again if you let it re-stick. So I'm going to pull really slowly. And once you know that your vinyl is on there, see, it'll just stay. And you're going to just take your time. So we're going to kind of go down and at an angle. And this is actually adhering really beautifully. Honestly, sometimes you get really lucky, and if you press really good with your fingers beforehand, you know, you'll see, like, this is really not a difficult thing to do. You just really need to take your time as you go. And there we go, and that was it. And then you just take you can actually reuse this plastic, by the way, if you do a lot of decals all the time. If you're someone that just got a silhouette machine, I'm using the Cameo 3. You can reuse your transfer tape. So I actually save it, and honestly, I actually have pieces that look like this, that are kind of dirty, but it's okay because you can still stick your labels to it, and it actually makes it easier to remove the labels, you know, from whatever it's on. It doesn't need to be so sticky, but, you know, because the vinyl is what is adhering to your, you know, your item, so you can actually reuse this paper a lot, so you don't have to throw it out. So anyway, you can re-stick it to your backing or whatever, so that's a good option for anybody that's actually making their own decals. Okay, so there it is. It's on. Now, what I recommend, the Oracal 651 is outdoor grade. It's heavy duty, and it's supposed to be permanent. I would, for at least like maybe 1 or 2 times, wash by hand. If you want it to last a really long time, I would always wash by hand. You could top rack it in the washing machine, but I would wait a few uses before you do that, just to be sure that it's really cured to your item and that it's really on here well. And just like, you know, the other main tip is, if you see a corner or anything starting to lift, you never want to pick at it and you never want to pull at it. So like if you have kids that like to pick things, this is probably not great for them unless you're going to do an epoxy coating, which is absolutely not necessary, but that's a whole nother way that you can seal these, which is pretty in-depth and takes some time. It also comes out really nice. But basically, this is perfectly fine for permanent use. And like I said, once it's on, it looks really great. And you can wash it just like normal, nice and smooth, and it looks really good. So there's my mug, and I'll be doing some more tutorials as we go along. And you can use this for your customers if they're getting decals for their cars or for their cups or their helmets or water bottles. This is a great video to link to so you can show them just the process and how to apply. And there is one tip that I have for if there is a bubble somewhere on the vinyl, especially like if you're doing a car decal that's bigger. If you get a little bubble and you just can't get it out with pressing or with your card, you can take a pin, which I have like a little thing of pins here. You just take a sharp pin, and if I had a bubble, you would really just take the pin and just very gently poke into wherever there would be a bubble, which I don't have one on here. I'm just kind of giving an example, but you would poke it in just to pierce the vinyl, and then you would try and press it out. And even especially on a car, they say with sunlight and with the warmth, you can usually get a better seal. So you can also use a blow dryer with a little heat to try and press it out and see if you can get it flatter if you get a lot of bubbles for some reason. But if you're using the method that I did and you really go over the decal well with the card before and after application, you shouldn't have a problem with air bubbles. You just need to take your time and press really hard, and that's about it. Okay, great. Thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed it.